Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in this recorded class of Vedic Astrology Foundation. For the coming few weeks, I'll be involved in a intense sadhana, and that is the reason I have decided that the classes will go on in a recorded session. Okay, so I missed the live class last week because of my commitment towards this sadhana, and the sadhana is still going on. And I have decided that I'll find some time in between to teach what I love teaching. But anyways, for the next few weeks, the Vedic Astrology Foundation classes are going to be recorded, and the recordings will be uploaded every Sunday at 9 p.m. so that everyone who has been a part of this course since its inception are able to derive whatever benefits they have been deriving for the last 1 year or more. Okay, so before we begin, let's start with the daily Shanti mantra of the Upanishads. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunakatu Sahaviryankara Vavahai Tejasvinadadhitamastu Ma Vidavishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All right, so in the last class, we discussed about Nabhasa Yogas. And during that class, I already explained that planets behave as benefics or malefics depending upon the houses that they own in a horoscope. And this will naturally vary with the Lagna. And the lordship of houses by the planets is an extremely important factor in deciding the results that follow from the different planetary dispositions. So it is the interaction of different planets as different house lords that will result in the formation of various yogas, so often referred to in astrology. So a yoga is a specific disposition of a planet, or rather a group of planets, which is productive of specific results. There are hundreds and maybe thousands of yogas described in astrology texts, and their presence or absence in a horoscope, as also their strength and placement, determines the nature and stature of a native. So I won't be discussing all the various yogas mentioned in the classical texts, but then I'll be certainly discussing some principles underlining the formation of yogas depending upon the ownership of houses by the planets. And for the sake of simplicity, I will be discussing these yogas under 4 categories. Raja Yoga, Dhana Yoga, Arishta Yoga, as well as Parivartan Yoga. Okay, so today's class we'll be looking at only Raj Yogas for the sake of maintaining ambiguity, because if I start discussing everything, then it'll be a big mess. Okay, so Raj Yogas are so called because they elevate the status of an individual, and when they are formed by planets which are strong and located in benefic houses, they will manifest fully. And when formed by weak planets or those located in adverse houses, they do not manifest fully and lead to numerous obstacles and struggles. Okay, so Raj Yogas are the most popular form of yogas. Every time I have a client for a consultation, I often get this question: what are the Raj Yogas in my chart? But then, not all Raj Yogas will give you results, because as I said, if the yoga does not happen in benefic houses, or if the planets forming the yoga are weak, then it cannot manifest fully. Okay, so for studying the formation of Raj Yogas, you have to understand that planets relate to each other by 4 ways. Okay, by conjunction, that is the most important relationship. Then comes mutual aspect, that means both the planets are sitting opposite to each other. Then exchange of houses, and finally one planet being placed in someone else's house and aspected by that planet. Okay, and the most common form of Raj Yogas happen when the Lord of the Kendras are related to the Lord of the Trikornas in any manner that I just mentioned. Okay, either by conjunction or by mutual aspect or by exchange of houses. Okay, so the Lord of the Kendras relating to the Lord of the Trikornas. Okay, they form Raj Yoga. And why does that happen? Because it is said that the Kendras, which are the houses 1, 4, 7, and 10, they belong to Lord Vishnu, who is the preserver, while the Trikonas, which is the house 1, 5, and 9, belong to Lakshmi, Vishnu's consort, who is the goddess of prosperity. And the union of these two lords, that means the Kendra lord and the Trikona lord, they form a Raj Yoga. The Lagna becomes the most important house because, it is both a Trikona and a Kendra. So what are the ways in which Raj Yogas can arise? Okay, so the first way is that the Lagna lord, on one side, and the lord of the 4th or the 5th or the 7th or the 9th or the 10th house on the other. Okay, so if there is a mutual relationship between the Lagna lord and the lord of the 4th or the 5th or the 7th or the 9th or the 10th house, then that is a Raj Yoga. Okay, so the Lagna lord having a relationship. Okay, again, the lord of the 4th house forming some kind of a relationship with the lord of the 5th house or the 9th house. That is another way. Again, if the lord of the 5th house forming a relationship with the lord of the 7th house or the 10th house, that is another formation of Raj Yoga. The lord of the 7th house combining with the lord of the 9th house is another one where Raj Yoga forms. Okay. Again, the lord of the 9th house and the lord of the 10th house interacting with each other, that is another Raj Yoga. Okay. So, as we have seen, there are different types of Raj Yogas that can be formed by the relationship of the appropriate house lords. And the most powerful Raj Yogas are when there is a relationship between the 9th lord and the 10th lord, and also a relationship between the Lagna lord or the 9th lord or the 10th lord or the 4th lord or the 5th lord. Okay, so these are very particularly productive. Okay, these are very potent Raj Yogas to give you favorable results. Okay, now there are certain other Raj Yogas that I have found to be working in the charts of clients. Okay, so Parashara, these yogas are mentioned by Parashara in his Brihad Parashara Hora Shastra, as well as by Saravali, as well as by Mantresha. Okay, so what are the yogas that Parashara mentions? Parashara, of course, mentions these two yogas as very powerful Raj yogas, but what are the other yogas that Parashara mentions? Okay, so if there is a conjunction or mutual aspect between the 5th lord and the 9th lord, then Parashara says that it leads to kingship or royal status. Okay, why does that happen? Because the 9th lord is regarded as a minister and the 5th lord is regarded as the chief minister. So by kingship, what Parashara means is a high governmental status in the modern context. So if the 9th lord and the 5th lord are interacting with each other, or if the 9th house and the 5th house is interacting, it means the person will be very wealthy. Okay, will earn from the government. Okay, then another way where a Raj Yoga gives good results is the exchange between the 4th house and the 10th house. Okay, or mutual aspect between the 4th lord and the 10th lord, or some association of the 4th lord and the 10th lord with the 5th lord or the 9th lord. Okay, so that is another Raj Yoga. Okay, the 4th lord and the 10th lord associating with the 5th lord or the 9th lord is another Raj Yoga. Why? Because the 10th house indicates the government. That is where the sun gets Digbala, isn't it? And the 4th house, it stands for parliament. Okay, that is your homeland. Okay, that is where all the decisions take place. So that interaction between the 4th lord and the 5th lord also, the 4th lord and the 10th lord, sorry, also indicates another combination for a high official status. Okay, so another combination that Parashara mentions is the lord of the 4th and the 10th associating with the lord of the 5th or the 9th house. Okay, so the 4th or the 10th lord associated with the 5th or the 9th lord produces a Raj Yoga. Again, if the lord of the 5th house associates with the Lagna lord or the 9th lord in houses 1, 4, or 10, then that also brings a kingly status. Remember, lord of the 5th house associating with the Lagna lord or the 9th lord and located in the first 4 or 10th house, not in any other house. Okay, Parashara does not mention the 7th house here because the 7th house is your mirror. Okay, it means something that is going away from you. Similarly, Jupiter Venus conjunction occurring in the 9th house, or if the 5th lord is associated with Jupiter and Venus, then also it can give a very high status as a king. Okay. Again, Venus in the Lagna aspected by Moon and Jupiter. That is also a combination of Raj Yoga, as as Parashara says. Again, Parashara also mentions a Raj Yoga that is formed by the debilitated lords of the 3rd or the 6th or the 8th or the 12th in the presence of a strong Lagna lord, which aspects or associates with the Lagna, that can also produce a Raj Yoga during the Dasha. Okay, so if the 3rd lord or the 6th lord or the 8th or the 12th is debilitated, that means if the Dusthana lords are debilitated, but the Lagna lord is strong, and then that Lagna lord aspects or associates the Lagna, then that is a Raj Yoga. So all the 3 conditions have to be mutually satisfied. Okay. Another Raj Yoga is formed when the 10th lord is exalted or in its own house and aspects the Lagna at the same time. Okay, that is another Raj Yoga. Okay, so to explain, I'll just show a few example charts to make it clear. All right, so let's share the screen here. Okay, so I hope you can see this. All right, so this is the chart of a Prime Minister of India. Okay, I'm not mentioning whose chart is this. So you see this Lord of the 9th and the 10th combining in the 10th house, that produces a powerful Raj Yoga. Okay, again, a close association of the 8th and the 9th lord in the 10th house also produces this Raj Yoga that materializes suddenly and unexpectedly. Why? Because this person became a prime minister unexpectedly because of the death of his predecessor. Okay, and the same combination also resulted in a very sudden and unexpected fall. You look at the sun in the 10th house, which is giving a high status in the government because the sun gets Digbala in the 10th house. Okay, so a few people would know whose chart is this, but I'll not mention it. Now look at the Navamsha of this chart. Let's look at the Navamsha here. So Raj Yogas can also be seen from the Navamsha. Okay, so look at the Navamsha. Raj Yoga is formed in the Lagna by the association of the Lagna Lord and the 10th Lord. So this combination too is joined by the Lord of the 8th house, confirming the indications of the Rashi chart. So the Navamsha, as we know, is a promise of the Rashi chart, and here the Navamsha shows that the person would be whatever Raj Yogas are promised in the Rashi chart, the person would be able to enjoy it fully. Okay, again Dashamsha, you look at Dashamsha, right? You look at Dashamsha. What is the Dashamsha showing? It shows that a powerful Raj Yoga is again formed by in the 10th house by the conjunction of the 5th and the 9th lords along with the sun. Okay, now when I speak about Raj Yoga, there is also a form of Raj Yoga which is somewhat odd in nature, somewhat strange in nature, and that is known as Vipreet Raj Yoga. Okay, Vipreet Raj Yoga. So there are 3 types of Vipreet Raj Yoga. Okay, there are 3 types of Vipreet Raj Yoga. If the 6th lord is in the 8th or the 12th house, that is known as Harsha Yoga. If the 8th lord is in the 6th or the 12th house, that is known as Saral Yoga. If the 12th lord is in the 6th or the 8th house, then that is known as Vimal Yoga. So what it means is the lords of the 3 Dushthanas, the 6th, 8th, and the 12th, they have to be located together, either in the 6th house or the 8th house or the 12th house. And this leads to rise in status, fame, and also produces financial gains during the respective dasha, during the concerned dasha. Okay, so let's look at this chart here. This is about explaining the Viparit Raj Yoga. Okay, look at this chart. So here, a powerful Raj Yoga, you can see it results from a mutual aspect between the 9th Lord Mercury and the 10th Lord Moon. Okay, and the Moon as the 10th Lord is also receiving aspects from the 4th and the 5th Lord Saturn, and also the greatest benefic Jupiter. So this combination is happening in the 511 axis. Okay, 511 is the axis for earnings and wealth. So this is a Dhana Yoga, and I'll be taking up Dhana Yoga in the next class. Okay, now let's look at another chart. Okay, so this chart belongs to a very very senior bureaucrat in the government of India. Okay, and he enjoyed a lot of status and enhanced income, particularly in the Dasha periods of Ketu as well as Venus. So Ketu Dasha is said to be traumatic financially for most people, but this person enjoyed a lot of wealth during Ketu. Why? Because this is a combination of a Raj Yoga and a Dhana Yoga occurring simultaneously. You see, Ketu is aspected by Jupiter in both the Rashi and the Navamsha chart. Okay, Ketu receives the aspect of Jupiter in both the Rashi as well as the Navamsha chart. Okay, so right, so Venus is debilitated. Okay, Venus is debilitated as the lord of the 8th house, but is capable of causing Raj Yoga, as I said, because the lord of the debilate, if the 8th lord is debilitated, it is exalted, it gets exalted in a Navamsha. So I can confirm these indications in the Dashamsha also. Okay, you look at the Dasamsha, right? You look at the Dasamsha, and you will see that Ketu is in the 10th house, that is associated with Jupiter, and Venus is a Yoga Karaka. Okay, because the Lagna, the Samsha is lorded by Saturn. So Venus happens to be a Yoga Karaka, and that Yoga Karaka is located in the 7th house. Okay, so this is about Raj Yogas. All right, and one thing to share about Viparit Raj Yoga is that Viparit Raj Yoga is good only for material success. In terms of spiritual success, it can be very traumatic. Okay, it can give you very traumatic experiences when it comes to spirituality. All right, so this is the class for this week. I want you to go through a few more charts before we go into Dhana Yogas, so that the concept of Raj Yoga becomes absolutely clear to all of you. Okay, so as I said, I'll be seeing all of you in a recorded session for the next few weeks because of my involvement in the sadhana. And as always, please leave behind your comments in the feedback section. And for those who are a part of the Jyotish Foundation class, if you have any doubts, please contact me personally or leave your questions in the group. Okay, so thank you so much for joining in this class. I'll see you next week in yet another recorded session. In the meantime, my regular videos will continue to be uploaded in the channel, so that my my manager come friend is handling that. And of course, those are recorded videos, so I don't have the pressure to to do it every day. But anyways, please watch out for the videos, and happy learning to all of you. Namaste. I'll see you soon in yet another video. Om Gurave Namaha.